Welcome to Studio 5. We are headed to Music City, Nashville, Tennessee for this week's episode. Andrew Greer is helping us to tune our hearts with music and a heartfelt conversation. Dirty Jobs' Mike Rowe is here to share his latest television mission. And as we get ready for both of those, we are counting down this week's top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment.
At number 5.
We can be traveling too, because here's the thing. When I was broke, I used to do this thing where I would go on dates for food.
Comedian and the co-star of Insecure, Yvonne Orji, graces the cover of the summer issue of Relevant magazine, sharing her faith and her life story, which is also the focus of her new book, Bamboozled by Jesus.
Full title is Bamboozled by Jesus, How God Tricked Me into the Life of My Dreams. And I kind of got some flack, like there's the sentiment like, does Jesus bamboozle people? He's a loving God. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But he will tell you to do some stuff that either you don't want to do or you are not certain how doing it is going to get you to a place that you don't even know you can go to.
At number 4.
Okay, you ready?
Let's do this.
And action.
It's okay, sorry, do it again.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Let's do this.
It's been in the making for nearly 3 years, but the wait is over. And the Chip and Joanna Gaines Magnolia Network is now available.
There's so many stories just waiting to be told.
Stories that bring us together
That encourage us to listen closer.
and let us see one another in a whole new light.
Initial programming can be seen on the Magnolia app, ahead of the January 2022 arrival to cable television.
You ready?
Let's go.
I'm so sorry.
Our first guest is a singer, songwriter, author, producer, and host, and that gives us a lot of ground to cover in this week's Sit Down. Andrew Greer's latest project is called Tune My Heart 2, Songs of Goodness and Love. We have a look at the making of the music project in our Studio 5 Sit Down with Andrew Greer.
Just listening real quick.
Tune My Heart 2. You did one.
But we didn't call it one because we didn't know 2 was coming.
It means, and the harmonica could take it at that point. You know, it doesn't have to be the same lead line, but
The success of the first one kind of called for a second one. I'd been away from music, more in songwriting circles for a while, but been away from producing music, releasing records for a few years because of all these other endeavors. But music is home base for me. So I wanted Tune My Heart 2, which the subtitle of that is Songs of Goodness and Love, right? The first one was Songs of Rest and Reflection. Second one, Songs of Goodness and Love. It's a little bit of a prod, you know, back into the light, a little more sunshine, a little less clouds, you know? So maybe I felt like I needed it to bookend it so people didn't think I was depressed all the time.
to me, these songs are timeless. You know, they're beautiful and they're timeless, and so many of them are written out of places of pain. I think the best music, even modern music, when it's written from just a deep place in the heart, whether it's joy or pain, I think that's what connects with me.
One of the songs on there that I absolutely love is the collaboration with Anthony Evans, What Love Can. Tell me about that union and why.
Credit, shame, shame. Okay, let's go back.
I've always, this is very, very honest and transparent. From the time when I was young, I thought I could be a black gospel artist.
Okay.
Then I matured and my eyes were open. You know, we think we can do anything at some point in our lives, and then we realize there's certain
limitations.
Limitations would be exactly right. And so it's still one of my greatest joys when I get to work with talent that I feel it inside of me. I can't always produce the same sounds. I don't always embody the same abilities. And I definitely think Anthony put his whole mind, body, and spirit in that song.
I really think the language of God, however we commune forever, I really think music, it must be an element of God's speech. It has to be.
Looking at your social media, got a little jealous. You leading worship for President Jimmy Carter and his wife.
Yes.
What was that experience like?
Yeah, for, the 39th President of the United States, Jimmy Carter, and Rosalind Carter, of course, the former First Lady. That's a project I've been working on, a documentary that he's a hero of mine, she's a hero of mine, the way they've lived their lives and the way they have implemented their Christian faith. I just got a unique experience in getting to film this documentary that's some about their lives, it's also some about race in the Deep South. I got a unique experience because the town is 600 people. The church is a little church of, little. And so I got a unique experience to lead worship for them one morning. They still attend every Sunday. That's the church he taught Sunday school in for years. I was able to interview him as well a couple months ago. Of course, he's 96, going on 97. She's 93, almost 94. When they have lived that much life and then such an interesting or unique life in that they've lived a very international life and seen a lot of different things and experienced a lot of different things, it kind of makes you pause, right? With their answers carry a little more weight to them in a really good way. And so the last question I asked him, I said, you have lived all this life, had all these experiences. If you could leave the world with just one tidbit, what would that be? And he said that they would follow the way of Jesus.
You mentioned the documentary. I know you interviewed the former president and Andrew Young as well.
Yeah.
What have you learned in this journey of a documentary on race and unity in our country?
Well, that there will always be something to learn is probably what I've learned most of. I think myself and the co-producers came in it with sensitive hearts, but also feeling like we could maybe answer some questions or prescribe some good thoughts in kind of what is plaguing our culture right now and the conversations that are so heated and divided. But I actually don't think we can control manipulation, abuse, oppression. That will always find its way in somewhere, and that is, I believe, our greatest spiritual calling right then is we get to go resist evil, we get to go rescue. That's our calling because, true freedom is in God. God is speaking freedom.
Sing over
I pray you've enjoyed our chat with Andrew Greer. He's coming back with a musical performance in just a little bit. He's going to be singing a prayer over us all. It's called Jesus, My Friend.
Coming up next.
I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm on a mission to find somebody on a mission.
You may know him from Dirty Jobs.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like what you do?
25.
There we go.
But we've got a look at Mike Rowe's latest mission.
Somebody's got to host it. That's me. Somebody's got to watch it. That's you.
Orphans Promise is committed to loving and serving at-risk children, to helping keep families together, and to creating opportunities for strong and sustainable communities around the world. We're working in over 60 countries around the world, and with your help, we can do even more. There's an old African proverb I love that says, if you want to run fast, run alone. But if you want to run far, run together. At Orphans Promise, we want to run far so we can touch the lives of as many orphaned and vulnerable children as possible. But we don't want to go alone. We're out to change the world, one child, one family, one community at a time. Will you join us?
Number 3.
I'm Marc-André Leclerc. I'm a climber, generally speaking.
It's a Studio 5 first look at the Alpinist. It's a thrilling, emotionally charged climbing documentary that follows a free-spirited 23-year-old Canadian as he makes some of the boldest solo ascents in history. It's in theaters September 7th.
What I'm doing is on rock, and then I see Marc-André free soloing on ice and snow.
First time I heard about Marc, he's living in a snow cave on the parkway or something. He is pushing things that is pretty much unknown.
Marc-André had some challenges as a kid. Climbing was like a form of freedom to be himself.
When you're in the mountains, it's like all of the superficialities of life just sort of evaporate.
Holy smokes!
At number 2.
They say the week start on Monday, but the strong start on Sunday.
Hype and headlines flow freely as fans await Kanye West's latest album. It's titled Donda, in tribute to his late mother.
I'm most excited of Kanye continuing to be overtly outspoken about his faith in Jesus. Hopefully the record as a whole reflects that. We'll see.
Donda's release is being delayed, but Kanye gave some fans the chance to hear it, hosting a listening party at this Las Vegas church.
I think it's a great testimony to those people that are far from God and those people that are walking with God to see what happens when someone uses their talents, their gifts, their time, their talent, and treasure to honor Jesus.
Well, that leaves us with only one more story in this week's countdown. We've got it for you in just a little bit. Right now, we turn our attention to another bright spot in the world of entertainment. You may know Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs, but he's on another exciting mission with his show, Somebody's Gotta Do It.
I'm Mike Rowe, and I'm on a mission to find somebody on a mission. Somebody who's got a passion.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like what you do?
25.
There we go.
Somebody who's got a calling.
Pretty excited.
On a mission to find someone on a mission. Somebody's Gotta Do It. Tell me about this project. How did you give birth to it, if you will?
It kind of gave birth to itself. These are people who wake up kind of agitated because the world's not quite the way they think it could be. Some are on a quest to build a better mousetrap. Some are entrepreneurs. Some are bloody do-gooders. It's basically a look at the people you wish you had for neighbors, and just an attempt to shine the light on people who I think have, to some degree, figured out this weird balance of happiness in this strange time that we find ourselves living in.
Absolutely. What has the opportunity to spend time with these people, what's that done to you?
I'm still trying to calculate it. It's hard to articulate, but it's kind of like, you know, if you spend all day looking at bad news and going through your news feed and looking at people who have unfriended you, you know, you'll start to feel bad. And if you spend that same amount of time with people who are truly on a mission, either to make the world a better place or their community a better place, or just to scratch what itches, you know, people who are engaged. That's the word. Authentic people who are genuinely engaged in a pursuit. Being in the company of those people forces you to take stock of your own drama. It was all just a big reminder that when you're fundamentally grateful, it's very, very difficult to feel anxious or angry or bitter or resentful.
The series is now streaming on PureFlix. If you will, take us inside one of the episodes. Which one comes to mind first?
You know, that's a great question. I think the segment that sold the series was, there's this thing they do in Laguna Beach every year called Pageant of the Masters. And most Americans have never heard of it. It's basically a live stage show with a big orchestra and hundreds of volunteers. And what these volunteers do is bring to life famous works of art on stage. Like you would take a painting, for instance, like The Last Supper, Da Vinci's Last Supper, and real humans, right, create that same pose, and the lighting is perfect, and the costumes are identical, and the faces and the makeup and everything looks so much like Da Vinci's original painting, they'll take your breath away. Why do these people do this? Because they love him.
The guy that's easy to make friends with is the man who plays Jesus Christ.
Sure. If you can't be friends with Jesus, And to see hundreds of people gathered and tears streaming down their face, and to see these volunteers having such a great time doing such a seemingly odd thing, again, it's very gratifying.
I think that begs the question, Mike Rowe, why do you do what you do?
My job, if I actually have one, is just to tap the country on the shoulder every so often and say, what about him? What about her? Get a load of them. Our species is not quite as rotten as we've been told we are by the headlines and the news over these last 5 or 6 years. My shows are an attempt to remind people of that.
A little bit better. Somebody who's got to do it.
Mike Rowe's Somebody's Gotta Do It is streaming now on the PureFlix platform, and new editions of his Dirty Jobs series are coming to television very soon. This is indeed a great time to share this week's Story in Pictures. Here's your Studio 5 snapshot.
We've told you about the delay of Kanye West's Donda album. Well, the rapper is now reportedly living here, inside Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where he continues to work on the project. Donda's scheduled release was midnight Friday, following his listening party event at the stadium on Thursday night. With that release date in the rearview mirror, Kanye West is said to now be eyeing to drop the album on August 6th. The story behind the delay and Kanye's stadium home are this week's Studio 5 snapshot. Still to come.
Oh, to grace, how great a debt.
Andrew Greer returns to the mic and offers up a prayer for us all.
Life. It's meant to be lived fully. Jesus said it. I came to give you life. Life to the fullest. Life in your family. Life in your finances. Life in your body, mind, and spirit. Life in your everyday. At CBN.com, we're taking what Jesus said seriously. We're here to help you discover life. Life. Live it fully. CBN.com.
When I came to Regent University, it's like the world opened up. I felt like I needed to advance my career and go back to school. Regent was a perfect fit for me. The Regent professors are world class. You are equipped. The focus of the faculty is on each individual student, whether it's online or in person. You become a part of Regent's family. You carry with you not just the content and the knowledge, but the confidence to understand that we can be significant in the world.
Regent University. Follow your path.
Come home to the Southern Gospel Station from CBN Radio. You'll enjoy a rich Southern blend of bluegrass, classic gospel, and Southern gospel favorites. CBN Southern Gospel. Available now at cbnradio.com.
And welcome back to Studio 5. We are ready now to take you back to our studio in Nashville, Tennessee, where Andrew Greer will perform Jesus, My Friend.
Late in the night when I can't sleep, early in the morning with no words to speak, when my mind is heavy and my thoughts grow drear. Oh, Jesus, my friend, will you be here? When my nerve is caving beneath the doubt and fear, when my soul feels heavier than my thoughts can clear, when the world all around me just gives in. Oh, Jesus, my friend, will you invite me in? Oh, Comforter, oh, Prince of Peace, peace when I feel alone. Will you with me meet when my mind is heavy and my thoughts grow dream? Oh, Jesus, my friend, will you invite me? Oh, death starts knocking on my door. Will you carry me on over to that distant shore where my soul runs free, no pain no more? Jesus, my friend, will you invite me? Oh, Comforter, oh, Prince of Peace, when I feel alone, will you with me meet? My soul is heavier than my thoughts can clear. Oh, Jesus, my friend, will you be near? Oh, Jesus, my friend, will you be near?
That was Andrew Greer singing the prayer, Jesus, my friend. We're giving him this week's final word in just a little bit. His Tune My Heart project and Tune My Heart Project 2 are both available right now wherever you download your music library. For now, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the 5 best headlines in uplifting entertainment.
At number 1.
Simone Biles is getting all of the love from her famous supporters after pulling out of the team finals in women's gymnastics at the Tokyo Olympics.
That support for Simone included tweets like this one from Hoda Kotb, who said someone said it best. She already won. She is a class act. Another tweeted Simone Biles is still the most amazing athlete ever. Simone shared how she came to the decision in a news conference alongside her teammates.
Just that 5.5 hour wait or something, I was just like shaking, could barely nap. I just never felt like this going into a competition before, and I tried to go out here and have fun, and warm up in the back went a little bit better, but then once I came out here, I was like, no, mental's not there, so I just need to let the girls do it and focus on myself. I say put mental health first, because if you don't, then you're not going to enjoy your sport and you're not going to succeed as much as you want to. So it's okay sometimes to even sit out the big competitions to focus on yourself, because it shows how strong of a competitor and person that you really are.
Introducing the CBN Bible from cbn.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary, or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This is CBN Newswatch.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch breaking news, exclusive stories and programs, credible news reporting.
We show you what's happening in the world and how you can pray about it.
This is CBN Newswatch, because truth matters. Weekdays at 5 on the CBN News Channel.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
The newspaper falls, man. Come.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
And you are back in Studio 5. Thank you so much for staying with us. Right now, it is time to sample this week's soundtrack. It comes from Corinne Hawthorne. Take a listen and hear why Sunday is what's playing in my ear this week. Don't want to have to wait till Sunday. On that musical note, let's take a moment to look ahead to next week's edition of Studio 5.
The Jungle Cruise ride was Walt Disney's main attraction when the park opened. And now we have this incredible opportunity to turn it into a movie.
A Disney ride becomes a Disney movie.
Everybody, Dwayne Johnson here.
That's not the line. Anyway,
the cast of Jungle Cruise gives Studio 5 a tour.
The rocks you see here in the river are sandstone, but some people just take them for granted.
That is not funny.
It's one of my bolder attractions.
Of this fun summer film for the entire family.
You don't like the puns?
No.
Why?
Because I think it's the way you say them.
We hope you'll come back next week for that story and so much more. Before we say goodbye today, we want to give the final word to Andrew Greer. If you could go back in time and speak to little Andrew, what advice would you give him?
Maybe just that he was on purpose, you know, and that whatever he put his hands to was by design. I grew up loved, so I didn't need that message, but I mean we all need that message, but you know what I mean, I knew that. But just that, yeah, that on purpose, you know, that I didn't have to mimic someone else's path because I felt like that was so resonant, or that this achievement was so important that that's what I had to direct myself towards, that you know, that like God made me to do exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Andrew Greer, thank you so much. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye, everybody.